Welcome to That Business Show 2.0. I'm your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes a show business. New episodes each weekday morning, 9 a.m., thatbusinessnetwork.com. Find us on iTunes and leave a review and become a show supporter of the program. That's a new benefit for people that leave a review for us on iTunes. So simply do that. Send an email to jamie@tampabayradio.com, and we will create a show card for you with a backlink to your website and a quick promo or description of yourself or your business on our show supporter website. That's found at thatbusinessnetwork.com. Underneath the resources tab, it says show supporters. Click on that, and you'll be taken over there to the show supporter page. And that page also under development, as is the entire site, a new venture of mine since dumping the old tampabayradio.com site. So again, please help support the show. We're very aggressive with getting these iTunes reviews. We believe they help grow the program on iTunes and help get it found in the search engines, because ultimately growing the site or growing the show is a matter of getting found. We produce a quality product, but unfortunately with iTunes and other search engine providers, getting found is difficult, and we need the support from the community. We need the support from our listeners, and we need the support from our viewers. So go to iTunes, subscribe, leave a review, and then send us a message, jamie@tampabayradio.com. If you leave a review and you don't tell us, and I'll go in there and check every once in a while, but I don't always know who leaves the reviews, because people will put in some funky name for their description. I have no idea who it is that leaves the reviews sometimes. It doesn't even have to be a 5-star review if you don't feel it's a 5-star show. Leave an honest review. I'm not asking anybody to fudge anything or to say anything that's untrue. A review is a review. You can by all means be 100% honest with the program, because also that helps me improve. I'd like to hear what it is that you have to say about the program, given that it's constructive and given that it's factual in its placement. So again, become a show supporter today. Support the program by leaving a review on iTunes, and leaving a review anywhere really that you find the program. We have reviews on our fan page, you have reviews on Stitcher, Google Play, all of those different sites. Helps the show rank, it helps the show get found, because it shows engagement with the audience, and those search engines know that if an audience is engaged, the show must be informative and must have the listenership. So let's show this show to the next person who types in this keyword, and let's show them this episode, so they click on that and get us one more fan for the program. Today's show, I want to talk a little bit about the idea of success. I've covered this on this program a number of times, and I've been thinking, more and more about this. Part of me is I'm a very deep thinker. I'm actually probably somebody who overthinks things to a degree that sometimes that it's counterproductive. Even it's been a problem of mine in some areas. It's been a benefit to mine in other areas. But regardless, I am a deep thinker. I'm a philosopher of sorts. That's why initially I think I was drawn into the finer, the more difficult sciences, the chemistry, biology, the study of virology, and I thought that I would enjoy that line of work, and I do to a degree, but only up to the point where mathematics becomes involved. I only like to ask the questions. That's why I'm on here doing a show. I like to ask questions, but I don't want to get involved into the finer intricacies of physics and astronomy and all those things that I spent a lot of time studying and questioning and pondering. But regardless, my point is, I like to think. I like to propose ideas and questions and solutions. And success in business is just one of them. And I often wrestle with the idea of success. Is somebody a success, and what makes somebody a success? And I think it's important to realize that money shouldn't be a determinant of your success, your ability to consider yourself successful or not. A lot of times people go through ups and downs in life. They make, bad investment decisions, bad in business decisions, and they lose money, and they begin to think of themselves as a failure or somehow not successful. You don't want to think that way. Measurement of success should be measured by the amount of people that you help, not how much money that you have in your bank account. And as a matter of fact, it's of my belief, and this is just my opinion, people that hoard money and do nothing with it other than put it in investments with the idea of getting more and more money are really counterproductive to the interests of society. They're producing, in essence, strictly for themselves. Now, I do believe in self-sustainability, self-sufficiency, and money, as obviously anybody with money can get themselves in and out of a number of situations that somebody without money cannot. But simply having money for the sake of having money is really counterproductive to the overall interests of society. Now, let me be clear here. I am not a socialist. I do not believe in equal distribution of assets amongst society. I do not believe in regulation of the money amongst our people. None of that stuff. In all essence, I am a libertarian. I am somebody who believes in to each their own. Leave us alone. We'll take care of ourselves. But I do not believe in regulation of the financial markets and of income or any of that stuff. You have the ability to make and earn what it is that you're willing to do, work, and produce. But when you become fortunate enough to make lots of money and have it set aside into a bank account or investments that do nothing but collect interest on investments, give back to the community, give back to the people that have helped you, give back to other people without the idea that I have to get some type of tax write-off, I have to give some type of tax benefit, or I have to, do this, or I've got to put out a public release, PR release that shows what I did. All that stuff centers around this idea that you have to always act in your best interest, and it's a flaw within the culture of the human being. And you've got to help others. And the idea of this comes back to I think about this a lot because of all the effort that I put into this radio show. And it cost me a tremendous amount of money because I was making a tremendous amount of money. And in essence, I give back to the community through the show. Some people come in here and paid through the years. Many have not, especially during the radio days, which was a very expensive venture of the program. But in essence, I bore the cost of this show to give back to the community because I was making more than what it is that I needed. And by any other's standards, I have not made nowhere near enough to sustain myself. I don't have millions in the bank like other people, but as I made it, I would invest it in the show, and I would invest it into the community because I wanted to help people, and I believe that is ultimately the measure of success. I am at my core somebody who has always wanted to help people. Even when they do wrong or do me wrong, I still want to find a way to help people. I'm not a litigious individual. I don't always try to think that people are out to get me. I always look at people and think that they always want what's best for myself, or I always want what's best for them. I'm unique in the way that I think. I understand that. I've come to learn over the last several years that I think unlike anybody else. I'm very much more holistic in the way that I think. I'm much more communal in the way that I think. And I'm not so much self-centered. Despite what some people may think about me, I am a little bit reserved and can be a little bit quiet. And to myself, for people that don't know me in a business environment, but I'm actually a very giving, open person to the extent that I've probably given away more of my money than I've ever actually spent on myself, with the exception of basic living expenses, housing and food and things like that. I like to help others, and there are people out there who make so much money, and that seems to be the centerpiece of what it is that they consider successful. That is not what a successful person is or does. Money is a byproduct of being successful, but success is ultimately measured by the number of people that you help. When we leave this world, whether it is that you believe we go on to heaven, hell, or non-existence, or an alternate reality, I don't care what you believe, the money isn't going with you. So you should try to live a life in which the money that you earn goes to help other people. And I'm not talking about in the form of an inheritance to a child or as to your wife or to whomever. Give back to people. Give back to people that deserve the money to help them, help other people. That should be what drives you as an individual. And don't get hung up on the fact that you only have so much money and then your competitor has this much money, so they are much more successful. Look at it as, what you have done for other people. Look at it from a number of people that you helped. And maybe they also help people. I'm not saying that just because they have more money that they aren't helping people, but give back to the community, give back to the others, and don't base your success in this idea that you're a failure on the fact that you just don't have the amount of money, or you got bill collectors calling you. All that stuff is a part of life. And money can always be made back. Henry Ford was asked one time, what would happen to you if you lost all your money tomorrow? He said, well, I would start over and I would make it back. He said, I wouldn't think much of it other than that, I just go, I can't do some of the things I'd want to do in the beginning until I started to build it back up, but I wouldn't let it bother me. I believe in myself. I believe I can make that money back. In essence, if you lose money and you feel that it's going to destroy who you are, in a sense, that's like saying, I don't believe I can ever make that money again. What am I going to do? And that, coupled with the fact that you only need so much money to begin with, shouldn't let it bother you that you lose money in certain aspects. You only need so much to live on. A certain portion should be given back to the community in one way or another, or one investment or another, and help other people. That is the core of what I want to communicate to people, because you hear over and over again that we only hear from the lessons of the most successful entrepreneurs who have the most money, but the stories of all the other people that are helping other people, their stories don't get told. And that's one of the reasons why I take people from all areas of business and all industries on this program, is because I believe that everybody's story should be told. I get tired of hearing just the successes of the guy who made $30 million, over the last couple of years. That's great, and his lessons need to be told as well. But I want to hear about the person who's been making $30,000 a year because they give, so much of their time to other things in their community. I want to hear those stories too, because ultimately, when we leave this world, that's what you're going to be remembered for, the people that you helped. So again, money does not determine success. It's the amount of people and the number of people and the degree to which you help other people in this society. So again, just some lessons and words to the wise to people in the community. So got to take a break here. Coming back from the break, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the program, and also ways to develop the marketing of the program. Some of the ways as a podcaster you can help get your show out to the masses. So that'll be on the next part of this program. On That Business Show 2.0 with your host Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeagers. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeagers, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring type products: hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Welcome back to That Business Show 2.0. I'm your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes a show business. I want to change directions on this point of the program and talk about some of the ways that I help develop the show. One of those ways I help to keep all this information, all this guest information, kind of centralized because this program now, 1,200 plus different guests on the program, over 500-600 different shows. And that's how you spin the show. I've done over 1,500-1,600 different entrepreneurial interviews. I've kind of lost track through the years of the number of different shows that I've done on this program. But ultimately, remarketing the program is something that helps the program grow. And so I want to show you something here that I have done since the beginning of the program here, and that is the Google Sheets spreadsheet here. I want to show you this right here. This is a way that other podcasters can develop their shows. As you can see here on this spreadsheet, I have and what's nice about Google Sheets is this is easily shareable with other people. Up here, I've got the guests that have been on the program, the time that the show aired, when they recorded, how they appear in studio, what organization that they are with, job title, email, their Twitter, phone number, website, the show title, the link to the show on YouTube, and the link to the show and That Business Show, the audio file. There's the About section. I also keep 3 keywords ready to go that are associated with the show, and I also keep 3 keyword phrases for SEO. And the reason I do that is when I build out the websites for each of these shows, then on the keyword phrases, that is the how-to stuff. This is the things that I'm going to put in the description for the page that'll help enhance its SEO. The keywords over here are what I'm going to use for iTunes, although iTunes isn't heavily dependent on keywords. Depending on who you talk to, I still put them in there. Can't hurt to put them in there. Or on SoundCloud or on YouTube or whatever the case may be. Keep them short and keep them sweet. 3 of them. I don't believe in keyword stuffing, and a lot of people will tell you that keyword stuffing is one of the ways that you get punished in SEO. So let me come back over here and show you what I have also done here. So coming back over here to my Google Sheets here, I also then composed different posts. So over here, That Business Show post. So then I'm able to easily combine the show site, the show's information into a Twitter post by using a simple feature to combine different cells. So I put listen to, then I put the show title right there with, then I drop in their Twitter handle right there, and then whatever other message I want to add onto it, and then one of the hashtags. And I keep this one short because this is Twitter. You're limited to 140 characters. Over here, you then use the code there to combine cells right there, and I'll show you real quick how to do a cell combine code right here. If you want these codes to be combined, you simply hit equals, and then you would start with this cell here, use the end, put a quotation mark, a space, quotation mark, end, and then the next cell right there, and then you would repeat that same thing. And the reason that I'm doing the space is to put a space between the words there. And so when you do that, and then you hit the little check mark up the top, it will then combine the cells into whatever is there into one big long sentence right there. So that's all that is right there. And that's why keeping a Google Sheet is so convenient, is that I can drop this into Hootsuite in 5 minutes notice now. It looks like a lot of work, and it is over time, but if you space this out just whenever you get free time, that's how I do this. This isn't something that I put together on a daily basis. This is something that I have built over time. And so when you look back over here, all I have to do then to drop this into Twitter is to go over here, put in my times that I want it to air, save this as a CSV file, and then right over here is the link to the show. And so when that goes out to Twitter, the message there, the past guest is tagged, a link to their show, and then I spent all of 5, maybe 10 minutes of time preparing the sheet because I have got all this information saved over here on this Google Sheet right here. Now, also, all of this information is imported into thatbusinessnetwork.com. We've got emails and phone numbers hidden for privacy protection, but all of this information is a part of our guest network, past guest directory inside That Business Network, of which you can become a member. Just go to thatbusinessnetwork.com. Across the top, it says join us, and you can begin to get this information in database format, not in Excel format. This is something that I don't send out to people. There's a lot of good, valuable contact information on here. But as you see here, this goes all the way back to February 2nd, 2015, with all the different guests that have been on, and I continue to develop some of these other pages with more and more data and more information to help promote and share out the site. But every show that I've ever done with the dates and complete contact information is down here. So February, March, May, all that through where we're currently at 2017. And so it's about 1,200 different guests that have been on the program. And now the idea is to just continually market and remarket the past shows. It's just a way to develop further downloads on your existing content. The more content that you have, the more eyes that you're going to get on your newer content. One problem that I've never had on this program is content. I'm fortunate that I have so much content that I don't know what to do with it. My problem now is getting more and more eyes on it, which is, after 3.5 years of doing the program, where I need the listeners and I need the viewers to help spread the word of the program so the show continues to grow. Again, 3.5 years spent on radio, moved over strictly to podcasting in March of this year. We want the show to grow to be a great entrepreneurial show for business professionals and entrepreneurs. I truly believe the show is as good, if not better, than Entrepreneur on Fire. I know John Lee Dumas. I've listened to him. I like his interviews. I think I interview just as well as him. He does all the other stuff a hell of a lot better than me, though. His productization and his marketing and all that stuff. And he's somebody who I study. In terms of the interviews on the program, though, and the content, though, I think my show is much more informative, much more engaging, and much more inspirational than the typical Entrepreneur on Fire show. His show is fine, although it tends to be a lot of repetitive questioning and not a lot of depth outside of his standard questioning that he gives. My show, I don't even know what direction I'm going to go. Sometimes I question him about entrepreneurship. Sometimes I question them about their show. About their industry, their job specifically, what it is that they do from a job category. Sometimes we end up talking about their childhood. I don't know. It's always something different. And plus, I talk with people from all areas of business, not only highly successful entrepreneurs, but also entrepreneurs that are beginning, that are struggling, that have failed, that are looking to fail, that have bounced back from something to convey the lessons that they learned from their failure. And so I think this is more of a real show. And all the questions that I ask are off the top of my head. With the exception of the few guests that do bring me in questions to ask them, I try to avoid that. I like the natural shoot from the hip style. I don't like the pre-produced, everything put on a teleprompter or on a sheet in front of me. I do very little of that, and what of that I do is because the guest is so nervous. They want to know exactly what I'm going to say because they're afraid I'm going to ask them something that they don't know the answer to. And I make it very easy on the guest too. And even when I ask a guest a question that they don't know what the heck I'm talking about, or a question they don't know the answer to, or a question they'd rather not answer, I know how to roll right out of it and not make them look bad or make the situation look awkward. So again, but this here, the spreadsheet here that I wanted to show you, though, is geared towards showing podcasters a way to continually remarket their program in an easy fashion. Set this up in Google Sheets in categories, get your show links, get your abouts, get your show titles, and then you can easily copy and paste this stuff into an Excel file, and then it can be used over and over again once the Twitter post or LinkedIn post is made. Get the guest's Twitter handle because you want to engage them with all their posts, and boom, I post on Twitter a lot, and you want to really pound Twitter. If you're only doing 1 or 2 Twitter posts per day, then nobody's seeing that, especially if you've got thousands and thousands of followers. Think about how you use Twitter, and especially if you've got thousands of people on your feed. You'll look through the first couple screen scrolls, if you even do that. You're looking at the top of the feed. You're not going through and seeing all the posts. So you got to pound Twitter continually, at least every 30 minutes, if not more. And if you're fortunate enough to have a lot of content, take advantage of it and post it. A lot of people that have grown in Twitter have said they post continually. And Twitter is one of the platforms where the people won't punish you for posting too much. If you do that on Facebook, you get unfriended. If you do it on Google, you get frowned upon. LinkedIn, it's, you don't want to post too much on LinkedIn. I overpost probably on LinkedIn per the community standards, but I try not to do too much on LinkedIn. But nonetheless, Twitter is a great place to post and post and post. Every post should have some hashtags worked into it. You're going to gain tons of followers. I've went from 1,000 followers about 4 months ago to 6,600 followers in about a 4-month time by two things. One, Social Quant, which helps market your show or market your Twitter based upon hashtags, and the continually sharing of my show using hashtags that other people will then follow those hashtags and follow you. It's all about those hashtags on Twitter and connecting with people that are associated with your show by using the @ at their name or whatever. So again, 1,000 to 6,600 in 4 months with no major investment on my part other than lots and lots of posts and the use of hashtags. Social Quant, though, a great little program, though, to help grow your Twitter profile without any content, too. That's all behind the scenes stuff. Check it out, socialquant.com. Michael Kualula, Tampa-based entrepreneur. I'll have him on the program soon. Definitely want to talk with him about that because I consider that a great resource for entrepreneurs. So I got to wrap up the program. I hope everybody got some good information out of this show, whether you're a podcaster or not, just on content sharing and development of your business. New shows air weekday mornings, 9 a.m., thatbusinessnetwork.com. Find us on iTunes. Please leave a review. Please subscribe. And please email us so we can help put you, so we can put you up as a show supporter on the new website. So have a great day, everybody. And again, you've been listening to That Business Show 2.0 with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.